to all you Virgos. Welcome for this yearly horoscope for 2014. So this will be very general, of course, and it will be very general for the Virgos, what's happening in 2014, and then the monthly horoscopes as from next year are going to give you some more details. But what about 2014 for the Virgos? Well, let's start with the most challenging planet for you. Of course, I'm going to look here at the outer planets and also to the inner planets and your ruler, but a bit less in detail, because especially Mars is actually a very fast planet, but playing a very big role in 2014. But for Virgos, what's the most important thing? It's the balance between Neptune and between your sign, I think, is the most challenge for Virgos at the time, because Pluto is in a good aspect to your sign, Saturn is in a good aspect to your sign, Jupiter is in a good aspect to your sign. And actually Uranus is not really involved when it comes to Virgo. So actually what I need to talk about is Neptune, and especially if you've got let's say an ascendant, or let's say a sun or a moon, or even a Venus, a Mars or a Mercury. If you've got personal planets in Virgo that are around 3 up until, let's say, 7-8 degrees of Virgo, then that will have the most impact, or you will feel that the most. For the Virgos who have later degrees, or for the Virgos up until 0 to 1 degree, so 3 degrees, so the very early Virgos already have experienced what I'm going to say now. But anyway, it is a very general thing that Virgos are learning to incorporate Neptune. And what is Neptune? At its best, Neptune is about seeing more than just this world, seeing more than just this table, just this physical body, and understanding that there are more things in life than just what we see. And that's the positive thing about Neptune. It's a very spiritual planet. It's also about creativity and inspiration. So these are the very positive things that a Virgo can incorporate when they really want to, and when they are really aware. The negative side of Neptune is definitely deception, mist, not knowing where you're heading at, and so on and so on. So it's not really nice as well, you know, the negative side of Neptune. But, of course, in an opposition, when you have, what is an opposition? An opposition is when you need to balance things out. You need to come into balance. So in other words, the Virgo needs to balance with Neptune. And Neptune is, coincidentally or not, it's not the planet that is very much aligned with Virgo. On the contrary, a Virgo wants to know what is right, what is wrong. It's the planet, it's the sign about discernment, it's the sign about reality, practicality, and Neptune is saying, hey, but maybe there is other stuff going on, maybe this, maybe that. Look into this, look into that. There are other realities here. And that can make a Virgo very tense, very stressed out, and very insecure. So be aware that fighting with the Neptune is not the best solution. The best solution is to be aware of it and to incorporate it, because otherwise there is a problem with projecting it. So as this happens on your axis from the 1st and the 7th house, it's you and the other person. So in other words, let's say you are single. You are a single Virgo. You're probably gonna meet Neptunian people in your life. Whether it is at work, whether it is a new relationship, they probably will incorporate those Neptunian qualities. Again, at its best, it can be an artist, it can be someone who's really compassionate, really spiritual. At its worst, is someone that you don't know what they are. and you can be, you know, disillusioned, or how do you say that, you know, it can be turned into an illusion. So in other words, if you are staying with your Virgo energy alone, if you're doing that alone, just staying with the Virgo energy, staying with I want to be objective, I want to be clear about everything, I don't want to see the Neptune there, then it's going to be the hardest time. The Neptune is really going to hit you by the negative things. If you say, I want to become Neptune, bye-bye Virgo, it's not good either, because you're not Neptune, you are a Virgo. So if you are trying to lose yourself all of a sudden, and Virgos are not used to do that, but all of a sudden you meet a person and you're losing yourself, or at work there is a situation that you completely dissolve, then it's not the solution either. What is the solution? The solution is to integrate both energies. So to stay the Virgo, of course, to stay objective, to stay with the feet on the ground, but also to open up to this wonderful Neptune energy that can give you so much creativity. You know, the 2014 is all about your talents. It's all about your creativity. It's all about the child in you that comes up again, and it makes you have a good heart feeling. And that is something new or can be something new for a Virgo. So if you do that, if you recognize the Neptune in yourself, because that is in an opposition, of course. When you meet Neptune in an opposition, it means it's a part of you, it's a mirror. And if you are taking that Neptune with you, if you are starting to open your heart, if you are starting to open your heart but be yourself, that's the trick. And I know that Virgos can do that because they're good at staying here, and but they're not always that good in being very open. And I don't want to say that to offend the Virgo. I mean, I'm a Virgo myself. I have 4 planets in Virgo. So I think I feel very much aligned with the Virgo sign. But it is really such an opportunity with this Neptune opposition. It could be such a blessing and such a curse at times, because it can be so difficult. It's very tempting for Virgos now to lose themselves. Especially the Virgos who are starting a relationship, really be aware that you're not going to lose yourself and going to now all of a sudden trying to you know, say that you are in a fairy tale. Be the Virgo as you always were. Stay with feet on the ground and have that objectivity, but also open up for being more compassionate and being more creative, because that's what it all boils down to. You know, the Virgos are becoming, I see that in everywhere, in my the people that have consultations with me, and I see quite a lot of Virgos, quite a lot of you know, challenges with this Neptune. And the really good thing is that Virgos can really start becoming creative, really start doing their passion again. And this is what 2014 it's all about. So and if you are in a relationship, it doesn't mean to say that a relationship will dissolve, or on the contrary, it can become even better. It can become even better because you are seeing the person as a whole, and you're not really picking on those little things that you don't like about the person that you're close with. So it's giving you a much bigger view upon all things, a much bigger perspective, a very much different perspective. And it can be a bit strange in the beginning, but it certainly is very opening up for the Virgos. And when I say creative, it is because also Pluto, the planet of transformation, is in your 5th house. And the 5th house is a house of passion. It's the house of Leo. It's the house of the child. It's the house of just being you. And I think a lot of Virgos are really seeing that now, are really seeing what they are all about, are really seeing what their creative side is, are really trying to show that. And they will. because, and they transform through fifth house issues, which can be sexuality. So maybe you were a Virgo and you didn't have a relationship for a long time, and all of a sudden you have this new relationship and you really do transform through your sexual expression as well. Could be the case. For other Virgos, it's their children. They can transform through their children, through how they perceive their children, especially when they're younger children. They can really see their own creativity through the children. You know, look, the best proof here. I'm certainly not a Van Gogh, and my son isn't either, but we made those together. And again, this is not Van Gogh, but this is, we just had a great time doing this. You know, this simplicity but also the creativity in Virgos is really bubbling up in 2014, if it hasn't already, because Pluto is already there for quite a while in the fifth house. For other Virgos, it's about their work. It's about being very, very open and creative and having inspiration. I know that a lot of Virgos now feel more inspired than ever before. That is because you work with this Neptune very well, and you're incorporating it. You're not fighting it, and this is the answer, I think. So you can be an IT specialist, and all of a sudden you can use your creativity in inventing a new program or creating a new website. You know, it doesn't always have to be these artistic things. It can also be just creative and creating something that other people could not do because you've got the skills. And now I come to this very interesting energy of Mars for 2014. Mars is playing such a big role. Why? Well, normally it's 2 months in a sign, and now it's there for 8 months in the same sign of Libra, which is your second house. This is the house for you of skills, talents. This is the house of your dignity, of your confidence. And you are, in 2014, you will work very hard on that. You know, we all going to work hard on one particular area of our lives in 2014. And for you, Virgo, it will be on you, being you. So, okay, there is this Neptunian energy that makes you a even more compassionate person, because don't forget, Virgos, the axis of Virgos and Virgo and Pisces are the healing signs. These people, especially when they've got an emphasis on both of them, and I see a lot of people with those two signs in their chart, they're great healers. And I don't mean to say that you are a doctor or anything, or a nurse. You can just be a healer, just being you in your environment with your family or with your friends, and that you radiate that. And it's going to become even more of that, because Virgos are often said that they are very cool, because they have this thing that they can detach themselves from situations. And of course, if you can do that, you can become a very good helper of other people, because you were not drawn into their dramas. But another thing is needed for being able to help others, and that is empathy. And that is what is going to be increased with this Neptune again. So, because you become more compassionate. You know, it's like softening the Virgos. Which is very interesting, I think. So with this Mars in the second house, this is a proof that you're not going to lose yourself into the Neptune, because the second house is very much a house about your what you're all about, your talents, but also your resources. And you're going to work hard for that confidence and for that being someone. And so it could mean that you're going to gain more money, so really the material stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, you've got Jupiter, the planet of expansion, in your 11th house, which is about, if you have your own business, it can be the earnings of your business that is growing, which is good. So, and for other Virgos, it's simply maybe you're going to spend some more time in exploring new talents and new skills that you didn't even know that, or you did know very deep down inside that they were there, but now you are coming into terms with them, and you have the confidence to really show what's inside of you. So very, very interesting year for 2014. As I said, actually the only planet that can cause a little bit of challenge is that Neptune, but when you're aware of it, you're halfway. And you are a practical sign, so you can get this into practice. And so Jupiter in the 11th house, you can have Jupiterian friends as well that can help you with broadening that perspective, because Jupiter in the 11th house can mean friends that are a bit Jupiterian-like, that believe in you, that really have good intentions with you. So be open for that as well. It can also mean that you have new aspirations for the future. And Saturn in your 3rd house, Saturn is the backbone. It's the backbone of steel, and it's helping you. With Saturn is in Scorpio in the 3rd house, so you're really working hard for better communicating, making your communication more serious, making your communication more in a responsible way. And I think that will be very good for you, Virgos. Now what else? The Mercury retrogrades. I'm not going to mention that for other signs, but for you it's important. There are Mercury retrogrades, Mercury your ruler, it retrogrades in Pisces in very early degrees in February, and then it goes into Aquarius. So it's relationships focus, but also work, 6th house. Then it's in Cancer around June, very beginning of Cancer, so that's that 11th house. So again, relationships, but more friends, like-minded people. You're going to maybe think about what they have said and picking up what they can give you as advice. And then in, is it December here? I can't read my own writing. No, it's October. It's in Scorpio. So it's in that 3rd house, that Mercury. So again, rethinking, but I think you Virgos are used to that. What else? I think that's the most important thing. You know, I just want this message for you to be very clear in this unclear times. So again, check out when you were born for those around, let's say, when you are a Virgo and you were born around 26th, 27, 28, 29, 30th, 31st, and the 1st of August, and then the 1st of September. If you've got your sun there, that is, you're going to feel the Neptune energy the most. So I wish you all the best for you Virgos. It's going to be a very hard energy year for you. So wear yellow. I'm not wearing yellow clothes, but wear a bit of yellow. Yellow is the color of the heart. Or wear gold if you have the money for it to buy it. Thank you for listening and have a good year. Bye bye.